they could do a collab.
Yeah.
Collab?
Yeah.
Is that where we're
That's what
we're
the
at
kids
now?
call.
Now we abbreviate collaboration? Collab.
Yeah, that's what the kids say, Walter.
That's what the cool
Come
kids
on,
do.
get with it.
God, I hate,
Yeah.
I hate cool kids. I hate them. Are we starting the podcast?
We can.
I mean, I don't know.
All right, let's begin. Welcome to the you could tell us the name of the podcast because I have a mental block. I can never remember the name.
I'm pretty sure it's called The Unrestricted with Jeff Vexler and the Bulldog, Richie Carnahan, and the Italian Pepper, Walter Pasacreta.
Thank you. Appreciate the introduction.
You're welcome, Italian Pepper.
Thank you very much. And we are brought to you today by River City Refuels. What is that, you ask? Well, it is a vending machine business. They drop the vending machine off in your business so you and your employees, everybody in the building, can all be taken care of because it's tailored right to you and your employees' tastes. It's a cashless system. They stock up the whole machine so you don't have to. It's very simple, cut and dry. Office buildings, apartment complexes, you get the vending machine, you put good food in there. You know, we're not talking about bubble gum and cigarettes. You can't go in there and get it. Let me go down to the vending machine and get me a pack of Marlboros. They don't have that anymore. It's good.
They probably should, though. Those are good days when you could cop a pack of smokes in a lounge when you were 11. You sneak in there.
Yeah, there you go. Pull the handle and the Marlboros come down to shoot. I can see.
And you run off with your friends.
Can you see in the future, Richie? Can you see a vending machine where they actually, there's THC products in there? You know, it could be, oh, you know what? Go down to the vending machine, get me a pack of rolling papers. Thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah, probably not.
Thing, they'll just drop a vape from a drone out of the sky.
That might be. I can see that. But call River City Refuels today, 210-630-5973, 630-5973 for River City Refuels. He's a local guy. Put a vending machine right in your business. How about that? Last night's Monday Night Football game. Did you?
There's two of them.
Yes. Oh, that was shit football.
It was shit
Which
football.
One?
But it was the gruesome injury that really led the way last night. Did you see that? And it was Nick Chubb. If you didn't see it, Nick Chubb gets all his leg gets all twisted up. It goes in the opposite direction. It goes sideways. ABC chose not to show the replay. But and so I searched for 10 minutes on the internet last night trying to see the video because I didn't see it live. And even when you see the replay, it's really hard to figure out where was the gruesome part of the injury. I was surprised ABC didn't show the replay because it was quote unquote too gruesome, according to Joe Buck. I was surprised by that. What's the worst injury you've ever seen, Richie?
Diamond.
And they showed that one over and over again.
Yeah, because that was when you could go to a vending machine and get cigarettes out of it.
That's exactly right. I got to tell you this. When I was thinking worst injury after I saw that last night, I was thinking of a friend of mine, and this happened when I was, I don't know, maybe 10 years old. So we're playing wiffle ball in the back parking lot on grass, but the field was really supposed to be for horseshoes. So they have the little spikes coming out of the ground, for the horseshoe thing. So he slides into the horseshoe pit and hit his knee on the peg, So he was a little bit of a sissy boy. That was his reputation. So everybody was telling him to get up, come on, Dewey, get up. And he wouldn't get up, so he dragged himself up and he walked over to the side of the building, and they had like a windowsill there, and he sat on the windowsill, and then I'm sitting right next to him, Richie. He rolls up his pant leg, and there is a gigantic hole at his knee, and I could see all the way into his knee, and I go, oh my God, you're gonna die!
I'm sure you made him feel great, Wally.
Oh my God! It was the most gruesome thing I've ever seen in my life, even to this day. And I was maybe 10 years old back then.
I was 10 years old,
Did
and
he go into shock?
No, you know what? That's amazing. He didn't. He didn't, and it was amazing. There was hardly any blood, if at all.
Oof.
It was great. He just rolled up his pant leg. We had no idea what to expect, and he's just rolling up casually, and then there's just that big gaping hole in there. Go, oh my God, oh my God.
yeah, when I was like 10, I was in the backyard playing just self-hit baseball. Just my next door neighbor was behind me as I took my swing, and I took it right across the bridge of his nose.
Wow.
Busted his nose, streaming blood all over the place. I thought I killed him.
I've seen that at a birthday party, piñata mishap.
Oh.
I saw a little girl hit a grandma in the face, and it was not nice.
Was it during a piñata thing?
Yeah, it was a piñata thing.
Of course
That's
it was.
why I'm like, don't spin them around. Just line them up.
Yeah, why do they have to have bats at a birthday party? I never understood that. Doesn't make sense. Hey, I got an idea. Let's get a baseball bat amongst 7-year-old kids and take some swings and see how that goes.
Nothing can go wrong.
No,
Grandma, get closer. Get closer to take a picture.
God. It's all about taking a picture. The NFL football this weekend. First, Richie, your initial thoughts on the Cowboys.
Their defense is really good. Their offense is a solid B. If they can continue to get better, there might be something. But again, it's only week 2. And it's the New York team.
It's only week 2.
I didn't need to see the game on Sunday afternoon to know that the Cowboys were already a good team. I knew that, but I said that before the Giants game, the first game. But the Jets aren't a bad football team. They're a good football team. They got a very good defense, and they got absolutely shredded by the Cowboys.
I think what is concerning for the Cowboys is they can't score in the red zone.
That continues to be an issue.
Yeah, half of their points are from the kicker, who 12 months ago was on the bench of an MLS soccer team. So that's a little concerning. They can move the ball up and down between the 20s, piece of cake. And then the play calling gets dicey, and they can't put it in. They have to solve that if they want to beat the likes of Bob's San Francisco 49ers.
And I will give credit. Mike McCarthy isn't calling a bad game. He's calling a pretty good offensive game.
He had his best game as a Cowboys coach on Sunday.
Yep.
For sure. And Dak's numbers, while they don't jump off the page, he's doing what he's supposed to do. The West Coast / Texas Coast offense is quick. Get to the line fast, get the ball out, get the ball to your playmakers in space. He's doing that. He's not going to throw for 450 this year. But if he throws for 289 and 3 touchdowns, guess what? The Cowboys win.
Listen, he got off to such a fast start. It confused the hell out of the Jets coaches, who I have serious. We all do as Jets fans. Everybody in New York, we all have serious concerns about Saleh, whether he's a great coach or not. But I think he's been on the positive side because Aaron Rodgers apparently loves him. So that seemed to be good enough for all of us. Well, if Aaron Rodgers loves him, then we got to give Saleh a chance. But at this point, we still don't know whether Saleh is any damn good. And Sunday was not a very good day for him, that's for sure. Did you see this, Richie? The 11th team in the Super Bowl era, the Cowboys, to outscore teams by 60-plus points through the 2 games, and none of the previous 10 won the Super Bowl.
Well, I don't put a whole lot of stock into that stat, Wally, because I don't think.
Of course you don't.
They're not playing their best football even. They haven't had to. The offense needs to continue to get better, and continue to work on their cohesiveness, if that makes any sense. To work, still the only receiver that he has a rapport with is CeeDee Lamb. Now he got it going with his tight ends a little bit better, but you've got two other really good receivers that haven't been put into the mix yet.
Listen. I agree. I don't think they're an offensive machine yet, but at times they showed that on Sunday. After that game, I was thinking, well, how good are the Cowboys? At this point, I have them penciled in as a playoff team without any question. Agree?
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Okay. Absolutely.
Agree.
Do you? All right. I'll check these off for me. A deep run in the playoffs. Are we expecting that out of the Cowboys at this point?
At least into the divisional round.
I think they're going to play the 49ers for the NFC Championship.
All right, so you'll cut out the sarcasm and go right to the real answer. Unlike Bob. Yep. Thanks, Bob.
Well, no, I mean the Cowboys are like your kid that does really good during like the normal part of the school year. They do well on the pop quizzes, they do well on the midterm, and they just pack it in the final exam and lose it all.
They forget to sign their name on the SAT test. Listen, and that's exactly how you judge the Cowboys, because this is the point. You expect them to go into the playoffs. You expect them. I think you have to expect them at this point to make a deep run and maybe into the Super Bowl. But that's how you judge this team at this point. You can't judge them by what they do on a Sunday during November. Because their expectation now is a playoff team, and that's when you judge them: is how far do they go, and what do they look like, and how and even if they go on a deep run into the playoffs, but then they have a complete meltdown with a minute to go in a championship game, they still will get ripped, and rightfully so.
Yeah, I mean that's the expectation, even though it's been 30 years.
Well, I mean, they got enough personnel there. Here's the thing. There's people talking about them being the best team in football. So here's the question.
I don't like to hear that. Like to hear that.
All right, let's go through this. So you got all these teams that are 2-0. Miami, Baltimore in the AFC, Philly, Washington, San Francisco, New Orleans, Tampa Bay, and Atlanta, all with the Cowboys, all 2-0 in the NFC. All right, so here's your best resume so far. Cowboys beat the Giants and the Jets. I think it sounds like you, Richie, you don't put that in high regard.
I mean, if any win in the NFL is good, but it's not like they didn't beat any playoff teams. What were the Giants in the playoffs last year?
Yes.
But they were one and done, right?
Yep.
And the Jets just missed
Giants won their playoff game.
Who'd they beat?
Who the hell did they beat? Hell. I know they made the playoffs. I know they won the game because they surprised everybody by Daniel Jones was terrific in the playoff game. I forget who they beat, but they did win their first round game.
Okay.
Obviously, the Jets didn't make the playoffs. All right, so you got the Eagles, 2-0. They beat at New England and Minnesota.
Oh, they beat the Vikings.
Beat the Vikings.
They beat the Vikings. So continue.
Those are two better wins, but they didn't win as convincingly as the Cowboys did.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll agree with that. Washington versus Arizona and at Denver. Denver's not any good, and Arizona's no good. All right, Washington's off the list. San Francisco.
They're scrappy, but they're not great.
I agree. San Francisco at Pittsburgh and at the Rams. They're the only 2-0 team to win both games on the road.
They're good. But we knew that.
Yep, and that Pittsburgh win looks a lot better after last night's win against the Browns.
I agree. So I would say, without going into the AFC and the rest of the teams, I think it's the right now you would expect. And again, this is today. You would expect San Francisco and the Cowboys to be in the NFC Championship game. Agree?
Yep.
If it was today.
All right. I'm good with that.
My top three teams right now are those two and the Dolphins. The Dolphins still top me for the AFC.
Yeah.
The Dolphins are fun, but here's something that we're all forgetting is experience. They hadn't been there. You've got Patrick Mahomes, who, I mean, he pulled that Super Bowl last year out of that. So,
no, I mean, I get that, but I like seeing Mike McDaniels on the sidelines because it's kind of like that geeky greaser kid in high school who you didn't think was anything,
He needs to make sure he has a media credential because I would check it every single time. Sir, are you supposed to be here?
He looks like he could easily slide on our show, and no one would think any different.
I thought he was Vexler. What the hell?
That's right. Where is Vexler?
Where the hell is he today? He's not
here. I don't know. He's AWOL.
Wow.
He's AWOL. Yeah,
that's a shame.
He's been abducted by something.
I give him $32 in an envelope, and he disappears.
He took it straight to bingo night.
Yeah, bingo night. That's funny. I find this fascinating. Micah Parsons, who I don't care, and J.J. Watt said that T.J. Watt is the defensive player of the year yesterday. J.J. Watt. He is now a media member. He is on one of those pregame shows or whatever. J.J. Watt needs to start telling the truth. And at one point I thought J.J. Watt was the greatest American on the planet, but he is dead wrong on this. Micah Parsons, to me, is the defensive player of the year. But here's the question to you guys: what are the chances of him winning the MVP? He was 10,000 to 1. To win the MVP before the season started. I see him at DraftKings last night, 6,500, plus 6,500. I told my brother yesterday, who's in New York and has the ability to make a legal bet, and I heard Greenberg talking about this yesterday. If Micah Parsons is 100 to 1, why wouldn't you put $100 on it and cash in $10,000? Because Micah Parsons has a legit shot at being an MVP. Now, we haven't had an MVP in the NFL defensively since Lawrence Taylor in 1986. The closest we've had was J.J. Watt when he was the runner-up back in his heyday. What do you think, Richie?
I mean, if it's 6,500 to 1 right now?
No, not 6,500 to 1. It's just plus 6,500. That's the money line, which I think is what, is that 650 to 1?
Something like that.
It's big money. Sure. You're gonna get thousands of dollars back for $100 bet.
I mean, stranger things have happened. I'd do it.
And I think your comparison to Lawrence Taylor is absolutely on point. I think Micah Parsons is a less mean Lawrence Taylor.
All right.
That's who was talking about it. It was your old coach that said, no, he's a lot like him, except for Lawrence was a little bit meaner because when he was coming down from a high, he would be agitated.
Yeah, but see, I think, and listen, I love Micah Parsons. He's very disruptive, but let's not forget about what J.J. Watt was. J.J. Watt was as disruptive a defensive player we had seen since Lawrence Taylor. I don't know if Micah is on that level yet.
Yeah. If he's not, he's close. And I think
agree.
Micah, for J.J. was awesome. Make no doubt. But I think Micah's twitchier. I mean, I saw a video of him playing running back in high school, and he ran for like 1,800 yards, and he'd only play the first quarter, maybe some into the second quarter because they were killing people so bad. I think that they could put him in run. I think he'd play both ways.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. And I also I think Micah is a little bit more well-rounded than JJ. I think you could put Micah. He's a
better athlete.
Yeah, he is a better athlete. You could put him all over the field and still be disruptive. JJ Watt has that. The defensive end was his spot, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen the videos of him working out with running backs, good running backs, 1,500-yard running backs, and he beats them in races.
Yeah, he's incredible. Just an incredible athlete.
He's a freak, man.
He's a freak, similar to Jeff Vexler, who was also a freak.
Yeah,
for different reasons.
What is what was the word he used last week?
Indefatigable. Well, he tried to use indefatigable. At least I can pronounce it.
That's good, and none of us can spell it. Let's jump over to college football, unless you got something else on the NFL.
The only thing on the NFL I want to talk about is that bullshit last-second field goal from Sean McVay and the Rams, totally destroying all bettors' dreams in like one fell swoop of a kicker's leg.
All right, do you think he did it on purpose for point spreads?
No, I don't think he did it on purpose for point spreads.
Why did he do it?
I don't know why he did it. but it pissed me off.
And I don't think he's come up with a good enough reason so far.
Yeah, you don't. When that happens, you don't talk about it. You just collect on Wednesday morning.
You go to the betting window and take your money.
That's right.
All right,
I'm just trying to stay competitive.
Let's get to some college football. I want to start with the Colorado State game. Obviously, Deion continues to be the lead story in college football. And listen, Richie, I watched the stunner against TCU. I watched the Nebraska victory as well. And then I turned on Colorado State game on the weekend. And then I realized it just hit me just all of a sudden. I don't care about Colorado or Colorado State. I don't care about those teams. Yeah. So I turned it off immediately.
I watched it. Colorado, what are they, 18?
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Right now. So, and they might be the 18th best team, but they're not a top 10 team because they have too many holes, because it's a total rebuild. His sons are really good. Hunter's really good. He's out for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, and did you see the news out that the guy that laid that hit on Hunter is now actually getting death threats and needs a police protection?
Yeah.
Just
see
that.
Sad, but it's very, very much expected in this country. And you know what? He looked like he was unconscious when they dragged him from the bench to where he could actually sit down. I thought he was unconscious. He may have been unconscious.
Well, they never said what's hurt, did they?
No, I don't think so.
They said, is it a concussion? Does he have a collapsed lung? It looked like he got the wind knocked out of him. Was it dirty and intentional? Absolutely, but it wasn't really vicious.
Agree.
I mean, it wasn't helmet to helmet concussion protocol immediately. He hit him in the chest. Was it stupid? Yeah, it was stupid. I mean, if you want to be a dick, do it when the whistle hasn't been blown, because it was like a second and a half late. But Colorado State was worse than Colorado last year, right? And they didn't get the Sanderses and Hunter, and they gave Colorado fits.
Yeah.
So is Colorado better? Absolutely. Is Prime a big deal? Absolutely. Are they going to do anything in the postseason of college football? No.
I'm with you.
I mean, they play Oregon this fall. We'll see who they are.
Yeah, I can't make myself care about Colorado. I just can't. And I as I said a couple of weeks ago, I don't like Deion Sanders anyway. I don't like that arrogance and all that kind of stuff. I don't like that kind of attitude. And so I couldn't make myself watch that game. I'll watch anything Texas college football wise, the big teams, Alabama, all that stuff. I couldn't make myself watch Colorado because I just don't care. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. I did watch UTSA, who played a very poor game against Army, which surprised me a lot. The defense for UTSA could not get off the field. They didn't have Frank Harris. He got hurt the previous week, and they even got beat up a little bit more on Saturday. UTSA's in a bad spot right now. We'll see. It's going to be very interesting and intriguing to see if they can actually bounce back. But they did not look good on Saturday, that's for sure, at the Alamo Dome. Anybody?
Yeah.
Anybody on thoughts on that?
Nah.
Anybody care?
I care. I want to care more. It's just hard because there's so many games and there's so much time. When UTSA is good, you tune in. You knew that the quarterback wasn't playing, so it's like, I love the fact that you're more diehard and you're not even from San Antonio, and I am. Without Harris, I don't know. It's tough to watch.
Well, to be honest with you, I mean, if I wasn't doing this podcast and I wasn't on Twitter as much as I am, it's to me, if you're not watching or at least paying some attention to UTSA, then you kind of feel like you're out of the loop. You know, you want to because everybody's talking about UTSA locally, so you have to know. If you're not watching the game, then you have to know what's going on with the team. But like I said, Saturday was not a good showing for them. Texas also, in my opinion, they looked awful against Wyoming. And here's my take.
They looked awful until they turned it on.
Yeah,
they were sleepwalking. They were sleepwalking, and they were letting this team hang around who had 1.5-star athletes, and they have 5-star athletes. And finally, Xavier Worthy said, "Wait a minute, I'm faster than everybody here." Got the ball, scored. And then everyone looked at him and goes, "Oh yeah, we're better athletes." And then they turned it on.
But here's the thing with Quinn Ewers, and I continue to harp on him because so many people pump him up and promote him and think he's, people were talking about a Heisman Trophy for Quinn Ewers at some point during the season. You gotta be kidding me. Quinn Ewers
That's
is not
happening.
He's not winning no Heisman Trophy. Here's the thing. Here's his biggest issues to me, Richie. He throws the ball so many different ways. It's impossible for him to be consistent. He throws the ball like he thinks he's Pat Mahomes. And and he's not Patrick Mahomes. He's just not. And so how could a guy that throws the ball on so many different angles, how could he ever be consistent? He's got to pick one way to throw the football, either come over the top or go sidearm or whatever you're going to do, but pick a way because he will continue to be inconsistent his entire career.
And 11 for 21 for 131 does not get you a Heisman.
No, of course not. That ship's already set.
I think he's out of the conversation. He thinks he's Patrick Mahomes, but he's not. I mean, it's a simple term, but look at the measurables, right?
Absolutely.
He's not 6'5.5". He didn't play baseball and throw a 99-mile-per-hour fastball. Can he be a nice little college quarterback? You bet. Is he a Heisman winner? No. Is he going to do anything at the pro level? If he gets drafted tomorrow, the answer is probably not. Can he get better? What's his ceiling? I don't know. But Texas's schedule is not hard, but Texas has an uncanny ability of playing down to their competition. Conversely, they play up to good competition.
All true.
But from here on out, I mean, they've got teams that are going to want to knock them off. They just can't get sucked into the trap. They've got to remember, oh, yeah, we beat Alabama. Now, does that look as good this weekend as it did when they beat them? No. Alabama is flawed. They hadn't looked like this in probably, 15 years?
I've never seen an Alabama team look like this since Franchione left.
Oh, Franchione.
This team stinks. Alabama stinks. They got a terrible team, and they got lucky because South Florida was even a notch below them. If Florida was any decent team, they would have beat Alabama on Saturday.
Yeah, I have a feeling now. I would think that old Nick Saban will correct that pretty quickly, like this week.
Well, he already installed the quarterback. What is it, Milshu?
He put him back in.
Yeah, put him back in. So I love.
And that guy's a running back. Just let him run the ball.
Yeah, I agree. He's use his best skills and make sure that he gets a lot out of that. I love. Do you watch College Game Day on Saturday, guys?
I watched a little bit of it this weekend.
I love Lee Corso. He had his 400th headgear piece this past weekend. Jerry Briggs, the Express News writer, called him a wonderful nut. I said that Corso's that crazy uncle that you can't wait to talk to during the holidays.
Oh, no, he's awesome. He's hilarious. And did you see the moment where he and Herbie embraced? They're both crying?
Yes.
I kind of got misty.
Yeah, I want more Corso and less McAfee. I do not want to see Pat McAfee ever again.
Yeah, but I'm tired of McAfee.
Corso can't do it because he's just too old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, McAfee needs some sleeves.
I'm tired of seeing him in a black tank top on his radio show or TV show.
I'm tired of seeing his armpit hair. Come on, bro. It's not Lake Havasu. It's not Lake Havasu 97. What the fuck?
Maybe him and Bill Belichick could get together. Belichick could cut off his sleeves and send them to McAfee.
They could do a collab.
Yeah.
A collab?
Yeah.
Is that where we're at now?
Call.
Now we abbreviate collaboration? Collab.
Yeah, that's what the kids say, Walter.
That's what the cool kids do.
Get with it.
God, I hate cool kids. I hate them.
I'm sorry you were bullied for most of your life, Walter.
And I'm being bullied on this show. I hate it.
I'm sorry, Walter. Hurt people.
I want to be Jeff Vexler and off today, damn it. All right. I got a couple more. I don't have any more sports. Well, I do have some more sports stuff. Did you see Phil Mickelson came out yesterday and admitted that he's a gambler and that he has a problem? No shit, Phil.
In other news, the sun rose this morning.
Yeah.
He says most of you will. He started out with his statement yesterday. He said most of you will enjoy this football season with moderation while having lots of fun and entertainment. The fantasy leagues will provide banter amongst friends, and money won or lost betting won't affect you. I won't be betting this year because I crossed the line of moderation. Oh my God, Phil, shut the hell up, Jesus, Mary and Joseph. God, what a douche.
Did some Saudi prince walk into his room and tell him, Phil, you need to say something?
I don't know, and I don't care about Phil. Listen, I used to be a fan, but when you decide to take, first of all, he mentions that he doesn't have, he has financial security. Hey, Phil, it's partly due to the money that you're taking from terrorists.
My God.
I can't stand Phil Mickelson. Go away.
I mean, can he go to a Gamblers Anonymous meeting? Because could he be anonymous anywhere?
No.
It'd have to be someplace where they don't have golf.
I want
Uzbekistan.
Probably. Hey,
Yeah,
Phil.
yeah.
Phil, stop talking about your gambling problem. Let's go back to the swelling that you have in your joints. Okay, can we go back to that commercial? I like that commercial a lot better. I like it when you're hurting, Phil, because I can't stand you fat bastard. You have
Easy, Walter.
Wow.
Phil Mickelson has breasts. Let's be honest. That's his biggest issue. He can't get the club around anymore, remember? How about this story? I saw this yesterday. A man died after eating raw oysters and fears grow over lethal bacteria that was spread by hurricanes in the state of Texas. So this guy dies from eating raw oysters, right? I have trouble. Roy Oyster sounds more like a shortstop, a shortstop for the Atlanta Braves. I think he was Roy Oyster. I love raw oysters. Okay, you put a little hot sauce in there. You put a little horseradish, a little cocktail sauce. Love them, especially wash them down with a nice cold gin and tonic. I love it. Here's the problem. Along with this story, it says, although comparably rare, only about 150 to 200 such deaths are reported to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention annually. Are you freaking kidding me? We have 200 people dying from eating raw oysters? Well, how the hell are they still on the shelf for us to buy? How is that possible?
And we're scared of sharks. Less people die from shark attacks.
Yes! This is ridiculous. Yeah. If this, let me tell you something. If this was 2-year-old kids, they would have been thrown off the market years and years ago. This is outrageous. How are 200 people dying?
2-year-old kids don't eat oysters.
No, they don't. I had my kid try one at Doc's over there on Port Aransas. She swallowed it, and then it came right back up the same way.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that's outrageous to me. You got 200 people dying, and they haven't stopped selling raw seafood? How is that possible? That's so stupid. God, I can't.
I knew a guy that got sick.
Did he die?
It's a bad deal. Yeah.
He did die?
Yes.
Wow.
Sad. Wow, that
Boy, how about that, Richie?
That just killed the vibe.
Richie just bringing the show down to hell. Good job. Yeah, couldn't we just have hang up on him before he said that?
We could have.
You could.
All right, I got two
more.
more.
Slow in the booth.
Sorry, I got two more for you. All right, Vacation. The movie Vacation to me is hilarious.
Okay,
there's hilarious pieces in that movie all over the place. But I was watching it the other day, and when Clark Griswold and his wife are singing Mockingbird in the station wagon, that has to be one of the funniest moments in that movie.
Okay.
When they just break into Mockingbird, it's hilarious. That movie is so freaking hilarious. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
And when he's
Russ is one of my favorite characters.
Yes. And when the daughter's on the seesaw and says, my daddy says I do it best. That movie's just outrageously funny. There you go.
surely break this heart of mine. And that's why I keep on singing.
That is just freaking hilarious. Oh my God. And Beverly D'Angelo was
She's hot.
she's quietly sexy as can be in that movie. Man, I'm with you.
Well, she's hot in the Christmas movie.
Yes. Oh, she was
When
a
she wears
good
that
looking woman.
blouse.
She's not strikingly beautiful, but there's just something about her.
No. She's got it all together.
Huh? Okay.
Yeah. I don't think she's aged too well, but that's kind of rude. Who has?
Wow. Once again, Richie bringing the show down. Just had to ruin it.
Wow. Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
There I am.
There he goes again.
There I had a slight stiffy going, and then you brought it all down, bro.
I did that for Bob's protection.
Thanks, man.
Speaking of protection, all right, I got one more for
Are
you.
we sponsored by Trojan?
No, not this week. No, I don't have I don't have an envelope for you. Sorry.
You're still my friend ish.
That's all right. All right. Speaking of funny, I got and I brought this to the table many times. I told people in San Antonio, you got to go eat Goomba's pizza. Everybody loved Goomba's, the white pizza. We started a trend many years ago. Then I told listeners about Rayo's tomato sauce in the jar is the best tomato sauce you could buy at the supermarket, bar none. I don't care what you tell me. Rayo's has the best tomato sauce. All right, here's the third
Walter,
one.
are we getting paid for this shit?
No. We are not. I'm sorry,
because
brother.
I love Miller Lite, but they ain't paying me.
It's okay. It's okay to be honest.
I could love Phil Mickelson for enough money.
All right.
Oh,
how far are we going with that, Bob? I don't have any other questions after that. All right, here's my recommendation. Going through all this, you have got to listen if you aren't already. You have got to listen to Strike Force 5 podcast. You're thinking,
I listened to it.
What the hell is that? This is Jimmy Fallon, John Oliver, Jimmy Kimmel, Seth Meyers, and Stephen Colbert all doing a podcast together. It is outrageously funny for the 45 minutes to an hour that they do this podcast. Oh my, I just stumbled upon it. It is the funniest thing I've ever listened to. Besides this podcast, mind you.
Absolutely. No, and what's cool is they're doing it to raise money for the writers while they're on strike.
Yeah, for their staffs, that's where the money goes that they're bringing in. That's awesome.
And what's really funny is numerous times they're like, "Yeah, this probably isn't that funny because our writers aren't writing it for us."
Yes, but it is. It's outrageously funny. It is so funny, and I can't. You know what, Richie? I can't decide who the funniest guy is on there. I think it's John Oliver, but I'm not sure.
He's funny just because, I don't want to say just because he's British, but the way that he interacts with the Yanks is pretty great.
Yeah, it is.
He's real funny.
You're absolutely right.
Kobe is up there. And then the other Jimmy, I think the other Jimmy gets lost in the shuffle, and I'm not talking Fallon. Kimmel.
Mm-hmm.
Kimmel's funny.
Oh, yeah.
I like all of them. I watch all of them.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
The one I don't watch.
I don't have time to. The Seth Meyers.
Seth Meyers is probably my favorite because I do like watching the closer look segment that he has on mostly every night. And of course, none of these guys are on TV right now with new shows because of the strike. But Seth Meyers does that closer look. It's always political, and it's spot on. It's funny, but it's also very truthful, and it's good stuff. The one I watched Jimmy Fallon when it first started, and I thought, this is the most likable guy on television. And then, excuse me, I was looking for something a little bit more in depth. And so I left Jimmy Fallon and went to Seth Meyers. So there you go.
No, that's a good podcast. Check it out.
It's funny as hell. As Jeff Vexler would say, like and subscribe.
Absolutely.
I think so.
Right? I have to sneeze.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Wow, we're leaving that one in.
Yeah, we are. That's a
Like and
big strong one.
subscribe, and
Like and
Walter.
subscribe. Yes.
take your vitamin C, buddy.
This is just I've talked too much, and now my voice is a little bit hoarse. So now I need beverage. So
Okay.
and I don't
Get beverage.
I didn't have time to grab beverage today. So that's the way it goes.
All right.
I think we're out because Bob needs to get the hell out of here.
Yep.
So before we go, River City Refuels is a sponsor of this program. He's a local guy, and here's what he does. He brings a vending machine into your business. This isn't just any old vending machine. This is a quality vending machine that's a cashless system and has great products in it that he refills. So you don't have to do anything. All you got to do is enjoy it. Isn't that the best thing in life? Just sit there and you get to it's almost like a fireplace in your house. You get to sit there and just enjoy it and say, yes, I'd like to have some of those. I'd like to have some of that. And you just, that's all you got to do. They stock it. You don't have to. If you're in an office building, you're in an apartment complex, you're at the local gas station, the convenience store. What's the difference? Whatever it is, this is the guy to see. 630-5973, 210-630-5973 for River City Refuels. Call him today. Thanks, Richie. Have a great week, would you, buddy?
You guys have a great week, too. Next week, we'll probably have Vex back, so it's all good.
Unless he's been arrested.
That's a possibility.
How y'all feel out there? Do you feel good? I said, do you feel good? Come on. The groove feel good when it make you move. Make your next move your best move. I said the groove feel good when it make you move. Make your next move your best move. It feel good, don't it? It feel good. It feel good cause you know it's good.